Hello everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. Today let's talk about patch 11 hotfix and what has changed really. As you probably know, patch 11 came out this Tuesday and things didn't go well at all. From far away, things went really bad, and Bethesda said they were working on all the issues and they would soon release a new hotfix to try and, well, fix most of the bad bugs that came with patch 11. But they took their time. They didn't do it in 24 hours as they kind of promised, but that's okay, we'll get there soon enough. So they released the hotfix today a few hours ago, I think around 5 to 6 hours ago, and I had a chance to play around 3 hours, I think. I did several queens, I did several events, I tested some other things, and I do feel confident now to let you guys know what has changed, what are the positives, what are the negatives, and what's really going on, because my conclusion is probably not going to please some people, but the facts are the facts, and I don't think things are looking any prettier. Just, you know, we're a little better, but most of the core issues that came with patch 11, they are still there. They didn't go away and probably won't so soon. So let's start with what's positive, what has been fixed, what's better. Alright, I really want to leave a few notes here before we move on to the pros and cons of the hotfix for patch 11. This patch came on Tuesday, as I mentioned, and it didn't take long for Reddit and social media to get flooded with complaints and bug reports from people who just had started the game and started playing as usual. Anyway, if you haven't watched my video where I kind of talked about patch 11 and how it is the worst patch ever for Fallout 76, maybe you should take a look to get a little bit more familiar with the situation going on right now. I will make a small summary to get you into context. So with patch 11, things got really bad. Servers started crashing right in center. Events were getting stuck. The queen wasn't dropping loot at all. Legendaries with no stars don't drop any legendary items. And people lost a lot of power armor pieces, among many other things. But Bethesda addressed the situation. They saw that something was really wrong with the patch and they said they would release a hotfix as soon as possible. It took them almost 2 days to do so. They were quite quick, and this is what we have right now. Patch 11 hotfix, and the patch notes are 3 items, guys. 3 simple items. Funny enough, they didn't even address the main issues going on with patch 11, but yeah, I guess it's their choice. So in point number 1, we have a power armor glitch, which was adding all the power armor pieces into player's inventory after leaving a server in power armor and joining a new world. Well, I didn't have that, but I hope that's really fixed, because you know, spawning your power armor and then there's just a frame, yeah, that can get you killed very easily. The second point is supposedly about 2 different issues. Bethesda said that the current legendary enemy issue that does not drop legendary items when you kill them has been fixed. It hasn't, by the way. I will show you proof of that. And they also mentioned that there is another issue where normal mobs are showing as legendary creatures when they are actually just normal creatures. So there is some sort of nameplate issue. And the second bug is still live. They haven't been able to fix it yet, but they are going to address it as soon as possible. Now, for the last and third point, we have a stability and performance update where they have fixed some issue with camps that were resulting in a server crash. Ouch. That sounds really bad. But yeah, that's pretty much what we have for patch 11 hotfix. Let's get into the positive things, finally. Thanks God they fixed the events. It was really bad yesterday. I was getting stuck in events like Monster Mash, which I had never seen a bug before, and I heard people getting stuck or games crashing every time in this event, Feed the People. I did it today with no issue, so I guess it's finally okay. Distant Thunder was also reported as a bugged event yesterday, and today I did it with no problem as well. In fact, I did every single event that I'm showing you here without interruption, without crashing, without things getting stuck. So I'm assuming that events are back to normal and that things are not so glitchy anymore. Well, considering the facts, I don't know if they did a reroll or something, but events seem to be working just fine, and I would say that's a start. The event Scorch Heart and the Queen seem to be also normalized. Yesterday I did several queens and things were like a 50-50 to get loot from her, but today I managed to find 3 queens and all of them dropped loot after we took her down. So I'm assuming as well that the queen is back to her normal state. You might encounter the bug every now and then because honestly it has never been fixed. It is there, it just doesn't happen that often, at least not to me. But you know, every now and then it will pop up and you will have a bitter surprise by not finding any loot in the queen. Instead, you will just find a loading screen or an empty loot box. Something else that the hotfix has fixed, and it's not part of the patch notes, is this nasty bug that I showed you guys yesterday. You can now freely eat and drink as much as you please without risking your Fallout 76 game to immediately crash. Isn't that amazing? I do think so. I tested this several times, even with candy, you know, where you can spam, and nope, it didn't crash, not even a single time. So they fixed this bug and they didn't tell us. Bad Bethesda. But thankfully, now I can at least eat and drink in peace. Are you getting excited yet? Well, let me break it to you. Now we're going into the bad stuff. And I did a few runs in West Tech and White Spring. It wasn't good, guys. I didn't find legendaries at all. It's like they are not spawning at all. I had full runs where I didn't find a single legendary in West Tech or White Spring. Of course, I eventually found a few with no stars, but that's very uncommon. I had never seen such a thing before. I checked other places as well, most places that are part of my recent legendary farming guide. I didn't find a single legendary in any of these locations. I'm very confident that they have done something to the legendary spawn rates. I mean, I tried different servers, different spawns, and I went to the 2 most popular spawns in the game, which is West Tech and White Springs. So I'm a little bit confused about what's going on here. They are supposed to spawn legendary enemies, you know, and they're not really doing this right now, which makes me question their patch notes. And yeah, there's a lot of hidden stuff going on that we don't know about, and this is clearly a great proof of that. For testing the legendary bug, I decided to go again to West Tech and White Spring to understand if it is actually fixed. For example, this super mutant was the only legendary I found in the entire run. Inside and outside, it was the only single legendary I found. No stars, and as you can see, no legendary item dropped. So what are they trying to tell me? This is a normal mob? So there's no legendaries at all in West Tech now? And whenever you find a no-star legendary in these places and they don't drop an item, does it mean that they are just normal mobs? Or does it mean that the bug is not fixed and you are actually finding a few legendaries in these places, but since the bug is not fixed, they are not dropping any legendary items? Honestly, the second option is what makes the most sense. Otherwise, it's like saying that the most popular and rich places in-game for legendary farming are now useless and they don't spawn legendaries anymore, because I'm only finding a very few legendaries and they are all 0 stars. Do let me know, guys, if you have a different experience so far. I would like to know what's going on here and if this is just something happening in my end. Thank you in advance. Regardless, all I can conclude here is that Bethesda is not speaking the truth and this bug is clearly not fixed. I'm finding all these legendaries with no stars and all they're dropping is a plastic freaking plate. Are you serious? But I can show you that event legendaries, at least, they are not affected by this bug and they are still dropping legendary items. So for the time being, you should probably stick to events. Today, I managed to find yet another new bug, at least for me. While I was doing Iranian Fever, I wanted to change my weapon because there was someone else here trying to do the event. I wanted to, do very little damage because otherwise I will one-hit legendaries and it doesn't work. I'm clicking my other weapons, several different ones, and I cannot change. I had never seen this before as well. I tried it later on again and nope, it doesn't work. But it's only with certain slots because, for example, this one, for my Gatling gun, it always worked. But for my shotgun and my knife, it didn't work at all. It worked just a few times, but most of the time it still doesn't work. But I think it's something related to being in combat. Because outside of combat, I can choose whatever I want and it works just fine. They might have improved the server stability, at least today I didn't crash a single time. Wow, it's like a first in a very long time. But loading times are just as bad as yesterday. Here a clear example when I was about to do the queen and things weren't loading. I mean players. I could see the shootings, I could see the rendering of buildings and everything, but not the players. It took a while for people to show for me, and even the event itself. That's no bueno. No bueno at all. Another example is the base. It's again very, very slow and you can see item by item showing up and rendering. And it's like 2 patches ago, when they speeded up the camp loading. I think they probably removed it, I'm not sure. That plate was extremely weird. Something else I have discovered today is some new power armor glitch. I logged in with 2 power armor frames and one of them was this sort of unclickable thing. One was my real power armor and for a second I thought maybe I had lost my pieces, but no, everything was there as it's supposed to be. But the other entry is stealing 10 of my inventory and I can't click it. I can spawn it, I can drop it, it's just there like a dead entry in my inventory and it's taking space regardless of not being functional. It's a very nasty bug. I even tried to spawn my real power armor several times, get it back into my inventory to see if I would be able to spawn the other one, but no, it never happened. Then I tried to inspect this dead power armor that is basically a copy of my real one, and I got a very big surprise. I first thought I couldn't inspect it, but voila! You can inspect it and it's a 38 round ammo. Like, what? Are you serious? I have no idea how these bugs are created or shaped, or I don't know, it's just How can a power armor frame become ammo? Like, no words, really. If you're playing Fallout 76 since the release, this one is for you because it's a very old bug that seems to be back, or maybe it has never been gone, or I thought it was. I'm not sure, but this guy here gave me the creeps, okay? He looks so... No, that's not what I meant. I meant something else, okay? I really don't know how can something be so intensely bugged. Oh, I feel you. I know, buddy. I don't know either.
What? What the fuck?
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Nein, 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 nein! Yay! Help me! Oh my god! It's gonna be legend. Wait for it. Dairy.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's patch 11 hotfix for you. And honestly, it's not even that bad. At least they are fixing a lot of things as they should be. And we have more stable servers, at least on my end. I didn't crash once today after the patch, which is kind of positive. And the events seem to be also fixed. I had no issues with any events I did today. And comparing to yesterday, where I had 3 or 4 events that were stuck or bugged or something alike. So that's great, at least 2 things they got right. However, when it comes to legendaries, the raids and the drop, it's very confusing right now. They are claiming there are 2 different bugs. They claim that they fixed one, but my testing say otherwise. I picked West Tech and the White Spring on purpose to test areas that have a lot of legendaries in a normal basis, and what I found was very low spawn rates, which are clearly not the right spawn rates for these 2 areas. And when I found the legendary, it was a no star and no items. Never. Like, a no star legendary never dropped a single item, which makes me wonder, okay, if it was the case, the bug they mentioned, that they are supposed to be normal mods, it's just a bug in the name, the nameplate bug, as they called it, then there are no legendaries in these areas, because I had runs where I found 2, 3, 4 legendaries with no stars and no items. So you make your own conclusions. I have mine. I think they didn't speak the truth in the patch notes, at least regarding this aspect. But maybe I am wrong. What do you guys think? Do you think that they made this up? Do you think there are actually 2 bugs going on and things are very, confusing and they are intertwining and I don't know what? That's also a possibility at this point. I'm not so sure. Regardless of the good things that they have done with this hotfix, the bugs are still there. They are going on and taking their own territory as usual. I mean, most of these bugs are there for ages. They have never been fixed. It's just sometimes we are lucky and we never come across them. At least that's what most people tell me regarding old bugs. Anyway, that's going to be everything for today's video. I think Bethesda has way more to fix, and I hope they start fixing their bugs really soon. Otherwise, it's going to get worse and worse. And with the new DLC coming in September, the Wastelanders DLC, it makes me really worried, because if you add tons of new content on top of a big mess full of bugs, there is no way that it won't affect the code and make everything worse even further. So please, I hope Bethesda sees this and fix your things. I know it's probably difficult, I know it's probably not cheap, but if you don't fix it, I mean, the future of the game is in question here, and maybe you won't be able to make it much longer if you don't listen to your community and to your players. They're speaking to you, we want to help, and we are reporting. So now it's your time to take action. I'm Marta Branco. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and do let me know your opinion in the comment section below. If you are new to the channel, if you just got here and you enjoyed the content, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button below to help me grow. Also, if you'd like to help me in other ways, you can always check my Patreon page. Now, for real, that's going to be everything, guys. Thank you for watching one more time. I will see you very soon in the next video. Adios. Bye bye.